This episode is presented in partnership with Recap Recovery Drink. Recap Recovery is your go-to when recharging your batteries. Whether it's after a hard workout or a long night with friends at the bar, Recap replenishes your body with a refreshing taste, rich in electrolytes to bring you back to full steam after a hard day or night's work. Recap Recovery has hit the market at Couche-Tard, and you'll want to bring it home to taste today. Check them out at recap-products.com to make your order and find them when they'll be available in stores near you. Recap Recovery is also a proud partner of Dexter Stacy, and we're proud to rep them on the Stickers and Scuffs podcast in 2023.
Hi, this is Mario Andretti, and you're tuned into Cam, Graydon, and the team at Stickers and Scuffs podcast. They're true Canadian racing fans.
Good day, friends. This is Cam K back with you, the Stickers and Scuffs podcast. Great and fun. We're now got our new threads on. Look at our beautiful looking Epic Racewear. So, Colton, we got to just shout out to one of your partners there in Epic Racewear. But
Yep.
Coltin Everingham is back on the show. We've been waiting for this one. This is, we've got to get right into this because Colton, you've joined us as an SNS driver this year. We didn't get the really opportunity as much. We got you on we were on the mod last year for a little bit, but man, your story this year is one of our favorites, man. And I don't know it's almost in a way, it's like Connor James's story where you just right up to almost when the season was going to start, you didn't have a ride. This was not going to happen. And you come out of this and now you're running weekly for a championship out at Sunset Speedway, and surprised me too because I didn't know you were going to do the Quick Super Stocks series, and you come out of there with a top 10 finish, running up near the front in the number 48 for Jeff Drimmie. How did this whole thing come together, man? Because it was like skin of your teeth, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Honestly, we didn't have anything set in stone. I still got the mini stock, and I got to do a couple more things to that before I bring it out, and I got to rewrap it for the how I did it with tribute for Melissa Bolin. And honestly, we just we didn't have anything set in stone. We blew up the motor in the Pro Late last year, so I still have the Pro sitting in the shop, but just the money aspect didn't make sense. And I've been really busy with Holdaway Motorsports, working full time on all of his program and stuff, so I didn't really have the opportunity to be able to work with him or work for him at the APC races and stuff, and have my own program and focus on that, as much as it needed to be focused on. So we just I said to my dad, and my mom, and I was like, we can just sit this year out, I'll pick up some races in the mini stock. And, I'm thinking there's going to be maybe one or two races with Holdaway Motorsports, because I still want to dabble back in the Pro Late model, because it's just such a blast to be a part of, and the top tier division in our province. And so yeah, at the start of the year, I tried to iron some things out, and it just didn't all work out in my favor. So I just kind of said I was just not racing this year. I didn't do that whole social media thing of posting that I wasn't racing. I just had a lot of people curious on what was going on with us, and why we haven't, set in stone what we were doing. So I just kind of wanted to let all my followers and, my sponsors and stuff know that this year we're just going to sit out. And it was funny. I was sitting at home and Jeff Drimmie ended up posting a photo of all of his legend cars. And I said, do you think we could fit my big carcass in there? And he actually messaged me and asked me, he's like, well, I got a super stock sitting here that I would like you to drive. And as long as you're willing to be a driver development coach for his son, Dawson, because he wants to get his son, Dawson, up into the big cars. And I said, absolutely. Something that I cut my teeth in for so long. And I really enjoy the division, and it's such a blast to race against all the guys. And it's funny. My dad and I I went and picked up the car on the Friday before opening night up at Sunset. And my dad and I worked till, 3:00 in the morning trying to get it done. We had like 4 months worth of work to do on the stuff to get everything all ready to go. And my dad's like, do you think we should go tomorrow? And I said, well, if we want to run for a championship, we got to be there every night, whether it looks pretty or not. So we got to the racetrack as soon as it opened, and, we thrashed for another 4 or 5 hours at the racetrack, missed all the practices and stuff. And we went out there and literally just had to get as much points as we could, because if you don't show up, you don't get points. And then it's very, very, very hard to win the championship. So we just thrashed all day. We come out unscathed. We didn't have any issues. And then the following week we went, full bore on changing everything, streamline race products. Sean McWhorter built my last race car that I had. And, I was bouncing ideas off him, trying to make this car better and, change a bunch of stuff. So we've thrashed and threw the kitchen sink at it. And every week we've gone out, we've just progressed very well. And it's really cool to make a car that wasn't, running up near the front to make it faster. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you can buy a fast race car, but it takes a lot more team effort to make a fast race car. So like I'm very, blessed for the opportunity that I've been given. And it's really cool if, my dad and I thrashing on this thing to get it faster every week.
That's something that we see you when we're at the racetrack. You're a guy, you're a utility player. You can kind of play all positions on a race team. That's a valuable thing. And I mean, it's also kind of a fun thing too, because you do have a great group of friends around you. So just kind of talk about being that utility player. And if you didn't get to drive, I mean, you're still staying relevant one way or another. Like, you weren't going to be gone away. It just kind of worked out that you got back in the car, which is great. But yeah, you can play any position, man.
Yeah, no, it's definitely pretty cool. I started, like, when I first started racing, like, there was, I had a couple buddies that just wanted to help, and my dad, and like, I knew nothing. All I knew how to do was put tires on and change the oil. And like, it took me a lot of years to get where I am. I mean, I'm nowhere close to where I want to be with the knowledge and aspect of it, and Taylor Holdaway started this big rental deal program, and, we look after the 94 of Corey Luciano and Tyler DiVienzo and Brian Mercer. Jacob Mercer comes down, and we do setups, and we've done a bunch of work for them. So I really, like, he hired me full time to work in the race shops on that deal. So it's really cool having Taylor as like a mentor, and learning as much as I have been learning. Like I said, like, there's still a whole bunch for me to learn, but I've just grown up with that. We don't have a lot of money as a race car driver, and I can't just drop the car off and pick it up at the end of the week and pay for all the damages or whatever happened. And it makes it more rewarding, like I enjoy working my tail off on race cars and stuff. And it's just like something I'm so passionate about. So I knew that, like, if this year we were not going to be racing, I knew I was going to be still working at the racetrack on, helping the Pro Late Model deals. And I spot for Carson Nagy up at Delaware, and I'm going to follow around with a couple more of his races that he wants to do. So, like, I knew we weren't going to be away from the racetrack because, I've grown up at the racetrack, but I definitely enjoy driving more than anything, but it's really cool being able to work on my own stuff and, help other people and see them progress as well. Like it's just something that's so rewarding to me.
You definitely see it in the amount of different people. I mean, I've tried to keep count on how many people tag you and stuff, because you're always in some sort of a different race team, a different track, different, like it's crazy when you think about how many people know you and how many people work with you. And we're kind of getting a bit of a taste of that now, where kind of like we're all of a sudden it's crazy, because it seems like such a big world, but then when you really look at it, it's really not. It really is kind of a small field. But I'm curious for yourself, because you have gone all over. You went all the way out to BC working with the RS1 series. So what is the landscape of racing right now? How does it feel, Coltin? Does it seem as if we're trending upward? Does it seem like we're kind of stationary? Things still need a bit of work? Because obviously there's somebody that's involved so much like yourself. You're getting a lot of aspects of different divisions, high, low, medium, and then the weekly racing.
Yeah, honestly, like I would love to be nothing more than racing in the top tier divisions in, Ontario or Canada, and maybe, venture on down in the States would be really cool. I got Nashville Fairgrounds is like on my bucket list. I think it's one of the coolest racetracks I've ever been to. So I really don't know 100% what's kind of in store that way, because it all comes down to money. It ain't cheap to run these things, and like I raced in the Super Stock division. My last year, I think, was in 2020 or 2021, and you buy a 602 crate motor for $5,400 out the door, and now they're $10,000. So like, it's just absolutely insane. The tires, the same thing. Like tires, we were $700 for a set of tires. Now we're $980 a set of tires. So it's just like everything in this division is just skyrocketed. But like I said, Pro A models is something I really want to do again. I want to try it out and kind of see, where we stack up. I don't know fully if it'll be my own program kind of thing. Like I'm really working hard to try to do a one-off race and maybe a couple races with Taylor, because his programs are like second to none. That guy is just blood, sweat, and tears and feeds into that program. And, it's just insane the amount of worth ethics and the knowledge that guy's got. And it's just something that I think would be absolutely amazing to be a part of. So like at the end of the day, I enjoy doing what I'm doing. I'm not going to go broke and not be able to eat what I want to eat and go out and hang out with friends and do what I need to do. But it's kind of, up in the air kind of thing, what we got to do. So I'm going to just keep plugging away and see what kind of opportunities arise.
Racing's family, we all know that, and you have like a pretty cool circle of friends that we see you running with all the time and everything. Is it a case of like you hang out with these people, you either got to end up being friends with them or not, kind of thing? Just talk about kind of that the racing family that we talked about. Maybe if you and Wally would maybe dress up like Arnold and Danny DeVito from Twins or something as a movie poster or something, just that kind of stuff. The fun times that you guys post it and stuff too. The great times that you guys have, all from racing, man.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy how much this, friendships have come from, racing or even, with COVID and stuff with iRacing. Like Ray Morneau and I never even knew of the kid until we started iRacing, and then now I consider one of my good buddies. So like it's definitely something cool, with like Wally Wilson. We just started chatting one day. I don't really know how it kind of all started, and the next thing you know, I was driving for his dad and part of their race team, which was really cool. And it's just like a big family, like everybody just like around my posse, I guess you could say, is just kind of like a family oriented deal. Like everybody's like, I'm a firm believer in quality over quantity, and I got some really solid people in my corner, and it's just I don't know, like it's crazy how these relationships and friendships and stuff started from nothing. You know what I mean? Like it's just something that I'll never ever forget and something I'll cherish for the rest of my life.
It's nice to have those ride or dies, man. Like and a lot of those people, like they know exactly where you're coming from. Like they're part of those racing families and have felt all those feelings that you feel. So like when you're surrounded with that kind of energy, it's gotta make for some good times and maybe some crazy times too. But that'd be it's nice to have that support group for sure, right?
Oh, 100%. You know, like I'm a 2-time winner at the Morneau 500 Speedway in the backyard. And I'm looking for my I'm looking for my 3-time this year. You know, hopefully he's got another sponsor party or something that we can be all involved in. Got to show those boys what's up.
I'm still shocked. First off, the wall, he can still walk after that. But on the other side of it too, like you've talked about this before, and you said getting into the driver coaching aspect of it. Who is some names that you see at the racetrack that we should be looking towards? Because you obviously you're dealing with a lot of different drivers out there. Who's somebody that you think is going to be? I mean, it doesn't have to be specifically to say Sunset, but somebody that in racing that it looks to be on the rise.
Honestly, like, and a lot of people look down on the division, but the true hard grit racing division people, you know, I got 2 people in mind. One of them, she races junior late models. Well, there's 2 of them that race junior late models, Lila Simca, sorry, and Morgan Moore. Like they're just the progress from start to finish and is just crazy, you know, like they're 2 young females in this division, in a racing division that, you know, like a lot of people look down on, you know, women in our sport and think that it's a men's sport, but they're holding their own. And, you know, Morgan got her first heat win last weekend, I believe it was. And it's crazy to see all their progress. You know, it's just awesome. And another kid, he races bone stocks, Brady Cox. It was funny. I met him as well on iRacing, and I thought, you know, this guy's something else. You know, he's just a little chippy 4'2", you know, kid. That's just, you know, it was funny. Like, you know, like the first time I met him was just crazy. But he ran the enduro race last year for Thorn Racing, and Wade. You know, I was up there working on a car because I was racing one of them as well, and we had to build like a 16-foot seat bracket for the kid to fit in, and it's crazy. But he's only got, you know, I think 4, maybe 5 races under his belt. You know, he finished second at Flamborough there, and it's really cool seeing these guys come in this division with, you know, not much racing experience or knowledge and stuff, and you know I'm not sure which team he races for, but I'm, you know, with Wade Thorne helping him out, and the team that he races for is just like, it's crazy to see how well he has progressed every time he's been out there. And I'm really looking forward to see what has in store for the 3 of those drivers.
I like hearing this because, yeah, it's definitely true. Morgan, I believe, and Lila both got wins out at Peterborough. And that's, I mean, we're obviously big supporters right on the uniform now. Let's see which side we're on here.
Yeah, other side.
Ladies of the Oval, big supporters right there, and that's great to see because I know, you know, it's not the easiest thing to get out there and race against the guys, but that's good to hear. I mean, I'm loving to hear the driver coaching side of things, but you know, you talked about drivers not having a ton of experience, and we got one that's right beside me right now who got his first experience driving a bone stock, and as somebody who, like you just said, seeing these people come out of it, do you need money to be successful in racing? That's a common question that people get, and this is why I wanted to ask you. Obviously, you said, you know, you guys don't come from a lot of money, right? Mm-hmm. You have to fight and claw, but you've been successful in racing before. So is there a limit to your success without a certain amount of funds, and or can you win if you don't have a ton of money? Loaded question, I know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The top tier divisions, like, I don't know. I've dabbled in a lot of things in racing. I race, super stocks, mini stocks, modifieds, late models, bone stocks, and I mean, every sort of racing has their own expense. Like the bone stocks are getting out of hand. It's same with the mini stocks. Like, it's just, I went out there with like a bone stock, mini stock, thinking that I was going to be somewhere in the ballpark. I wasn't expecting much, but we were way off. And there's we had a bone stock motor from the car when I bought the car. It's just it's crazy. It's doesn't really showcase that talent can get you anywhere. It's like guys like Trey Lasfitch, like that guy's a really good race car driver, and it's the same thing. Like they're looking for sponsorships to finish out the year in the Pinty's division. I'm good buddies with him as well, and it's like guys like Danny Benedict or Johnny Morrison, and there's a whole handful of guys that are not limited at what they're doing, but it's hard. They're true hard gritted race car drivers and that are trying to make it in something that it just costs so much money. So like there isn't another driver, because like I said, I've dabbled in everything, that can tell me that it doesn't help having money. You know what I mean? Like, if you're going up, you're a family run team going up against guys with $80,000 to $100,000 budgets in a year, like, you could get lucky, you could outdrive them, because, money doesn't buy talent, but money definitely buys the best of the best, right?
Yeah.
It's definitely, it's definitely a tough thing in racing, I guess. It's because, like I said, like we had a lot of success in the super stock division after so long, but we had to spend the money to get there. We spent a fortune to or to excel well in the racing. I mean, like, now it's just like price of a new car, like a super stock, is like doubled of what I paid, and or my mother, sorry, paid in 2017. And it's just, if you don't got the money to do it, you ain't going to be able to go anywhere. It's kind of hard now. Like, people and series don't care if you got talent. They care about who's got the biggest check and who's writing the biggest check now.
It's the sad reality of racing, honestly. And it's not, this isn't an Ontario problem. This isn't a Canada problem. This is a racing problem. It is across the board, because we see it. I mean, you see it with the Cup Series. You used to have 60 cars that would qualify for the Brickyard 400, and now we barely get 36 each week. Yep. There's a problem there.
Parts ain't cheap. That's the thing too. Like you said, it's just the economics of it. It costs more to do business. It costs more to go racing, and as you say, you got to pound the pavement, find those partners, which also aren't easy to find, because a lot of them are probably feeling the economic pinch too. So it's just a whole ripple effect of things. Mm-hmm. But fun question. Let's get away from that. The economic stuff. You're getting introduced at a huge race. What song are you coming out to?
22 by Taylor Swift all day long. That's like, nice. That's my jam.
Yeah.
And like not even hesitation, and I'll be singing and dancing the whole way out, because it is my favorite song.
Nice. I know, like, you got some see you busting moves on Facebook and stuff in the videos and stuff. I figured you're a musical guy, and I don't always remember to ask our guests that, but I just had to ask Coltin Everingham what his walkout song would be.
Yeah, no, I'm not much of a singer, but I belt that song like it's my day job, and it's my favorite song. So, but no shame at all.
I'm just saying, if it comes to it, and you got an empty hood on the car, just a big old picture of Taylor Swift's face right on the hood, right?
I would do it.
I'm just saying, and then maybe you get her attention, and then maybe you get a deal. Who knows, right? Taylor Swift sponsored 48 car sounds great, doesn't it?
No, absolutely.
We obviously have a lot of divisions that we follow, lots of people that we want to talk with, but Coltin's always somebody that we're blessed to and to talk to him at the racetrack. And Coltin, when you saw me opening week at Sunset and say, "Hey, you got any stickers? We got to get something on the car." It was truly an honor because it's somebody that we absolutely love what you stand for and what you do for other racers too. It's not easy being in the business. It's not easy being new, and we're still relatively new. We don't know a ton of people still, and people don't really know a ton about us. But to have somebody of your caliber that's come on and wanted to be part of our little deal, and it makes it really exciting for us. And we're hoping that we can that you can get out there and do a couple more races. And I know there's somebody that really wants to see that neon out there because he's a new driver and really likes Mopars. So
Mopar baby.
So definitely would be excited to see that the 48 neon out there. And Colton, you have some great partners that have backed you, and let's hear from who you got on the race car this year, and anybody else that you want to shout out.
Yeah, I gotta, it's definitely been hard with COVID and stuff, and like with last year with the Pro Late model deal with going so south so quickly. But I've had really good supporters that have stayed with me through the highs and the lows of the lows. So I gotta thank my mom and my dad first and foremost. They bust their butts every week. My dad's always want to be in the shop working on it while I'm working on race cars for Taylor. And but I gotta thank Dwayne Clugson from Zolo Realty, Guns Automotive, Homeland Auto Service. Sorry, it's a fresh one. That's Morgan Moore's dad. I gotta thank Ryan's Landscaping. I think I said Guns Automotive already.
Double shot, that's fine.
Yeah. McGrath Family Stickers and Scuffs. And just all the fans and supporters that just support me week in and week out. It just means the world to me, and I'm very blessed for every opportunity that's been thrown my way. And I also got to thank Jeff Drimmie for giving me the opportunity to race his race car. It's really cool that he's got a lot of trust in me and just wants to see me succeed in all aspects in life.
I'm glad you did bring that up before we let you go, man. Having the trust of an owner letting you wail on his stuff, I mean, it's such a good feeling, right? Like there's a certain degree of implicit trust. Like any racing owner knows shit can go sideways and stuff can get bent up and whatever. But I mean, to have that initial trust in someone, I mean, it's a compliment really, and kind of a good vote of confidence when you belt in and go to battle for them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like it all started with Paul Wilson. After my car got destroyed out on colors, he reached out to me and for some reason asked me to drive his modified, which I was caught off guard with after my car just got destroyed. But yeah, I like I said, I'm very blessed. Like David Rockwood gave me a ride in his bone stock at Delaware there, and at Flamborough as well, and we had some success as well. But this is something that's really cool. I've really wanted to venture back into super stocks because it's just such a fun, hard racing, and the talent level in it, and they're just like hard race cars to drive. It's such a blast, and I'm super grateful to be back in the division. I'm super grateful for Jeff Drimmie, and I'm just super grateful for everything that's happened with me this year. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what the rest of the year has in store for us.
It's already one of the best stories of 2023.
It really is.
We're pulling for you big time.
It really is, yes. And we have to do the obligatory mullet check and see how the flow is working, because
it's going strong. The perm still.
We had a contest that was put out, Colton, and somebody, I believe it was Mike Herniak Jr. or Mike Herniak Sr., pardon me, that was like, we got to vote who's still got the best one, you or Wally. And I don't know where the Wally part came in, because clearly that wasn't, that's not a mullet, man. That is a mullet. And it is one of the beautiful things about you. And we're so completely honored. I don't know why we don't have the mane and tail. That's a perfect name for him, because he's got the mane. I don't know. He's got the tail pretty much too. I don't even know if that's what you need really. But it's perfect all in all. Just saying, there's lots of options out here for beard care or hair care that I'm like, Colton is like the perfect face for it. Literally, how could you turn that away, right? So Coltin Everingham, best of luck for the rest of this season. You know that you've got our support all season long. We can't wait to see more and more out of that number 48 Super Stock out at Sunset Speedway and in the Quick Wick Super Stock Series. Make sure you guys follow Coltin Everingham. How can they follow your story?
I'm not very active much on the Everingham racing aspect, but my personal account, Coltin Everingham on Facebook, is just fully blown of my racing and, the highs and the highs and lows of the lows, and my Instagram as well as Everingham48.
That's Coltin Everingham here on the Stickers and Scuffs podcast.
Thanks, guys.